What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to KVTV. My name is Jay, and yeah, we're gonna be looking at this guy right here, the little 18350 mini mod. Yeah, as the video description already said, you know, it was one of those things. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at it really close and personal. Then we'll come back up here, pros and cons, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Alrighty, so. With that all being said, advocacy, we need to stay on top of it. We need to do our bit. I don't even know what else to say to you guys. I mean, seriously, it is one of those things of we've been fighting, and we can't let up. I mean, it has shown some results, probably not to the extent that we want them to be, but at the same time, we have gotten some results. And we need to keep showing that united front, that we are a community. We're not just big tobacco trying to get their way when it comes to some product that nobody understands outside of vaping. So it's one of those things of you need to educate people, need to get more information out there, and be able to expand more on the ideology of what vaping is. Alrighty, so with all that seriousness out of the way, let's go to the top 10 and I'll catch you guys back up here. Alright guys, so here it is. This guy, I'm not showing one side mostly because of the logo that is on there and yada yada yada. Alright, so there's not really much to the packaging. We'll say this thing scratch resistant wise, it is not. It's taking quite a bit of a beating. But other than that, it's a nice little 18350 mod. Lots of threading, do be aware of that fact. But even then, it doesn't take too much to get rid of it. This is the mini 18350 guy. And here, let me show you. Battery right there. Always make sure you get some really good 18350s. These are the Keep Powers. Do go check out Mooch and see which ones he recommends. This is one of the ones that is on that list. I think there's an E-Fest out there that he recommends as well. And that's how that goes assembled. Here, let me show you. This thing does, it takes up to 24 millimeters in diameter. As you can see, here's my K-Funlight Prime 24. And it sits very nice and flush right there. Put the battery back in. And there it is. I mean, it's a mech mod. I mean, there's not really much to it. The button is actually a very simple button. The button is very simple. This part comes off. And I will say this comes originally with magnets. I changed it about because I personally am not the world's biggest fan of magnets. So it does come with a magnet in there, a magnet on top of here. And the switch kind of just bounces from the magnets. I did put a spring. I switched it out because it's just I'm more of a spring user. I'm not a fan of magnets at all at any capacity, so do be aware of that. And then the contact pin just it goes back into place right there. There that goes. Alright, and there that is. And then there's this peak insulator piece right here for safety purposes, which is nice. Alright, so yeah, that is it. I mean, it's a very, very straight, it's a mech mod. There's not really much else I can really say or do when it comes to that, but you can hear it going here. Yeah. So yeah, that is that guy right there. So I'm gonna take you guys up top, talk some pros and cons and all that kind of thing. Alright guys, so that was the 18350 mini mod. I don't really give you like the branding and stuff because of what this actually is, and I am sorry, I understand, but it's more to protect myself and cover my ass when it comes to what kind of product this is. that comes from a Chinese site, if that allows you to know anything of what I am talking about. All right, so as far as like 18350 mods, they're actually not a new concept. They've been around for a while. There's like so many other things that have been around for a bit that people even forgot that existed or that were a thing, like 4 or 5 years ago. They've just recently made like a resurgence with like the whole coming back of mouth to lung setups and all that kind of thing. So it's kind of coming full circle in that sense, and I've kind of jumped on the train when it comes to the mechs and stuff like that, because to me it's very interesting and it's kind of cool, it gives me more into what like I want out of a mouth to lung, because I was never really a fan of regulated mouth to lung, and this just kind of gives me an out while still being able to do mouth to lung. So yeah, as far as this mod goes, very nice, very small, very tiny. Look at that. And what's funny is like you can't even, like, it hits hard for what it is, but it's one of those weird things. Like, it's really one of those weird things. If you saw the K-Fun Light video from a couple days ago, you know. So yeah, as far as like hitting hard, check it out. Not too bad, right? Not too shabby. We'll say with the idea of 18350 batteries, it's a lot more limited. It does not allow you to build below a certain realm. As far as I can tell, like a 0.7 is within safety reasoning. These are 10 amp batteries. Do use an ohms calculator. If you don't have one, look one up. I know the Vape Tool has one. If not, go to just put on like Google or something and put Ohm's law calculator. At that point, you input your voltage. These batteries come at a 0.37 voltage. They don't do a full true 4.2. So that's something to keep in mind. And then put in what style of build you're thinking of doing. Like right now, I have a 1 point something, I think it is. And I'm within that reasoning of the mod itself or the battery life. If this thing, you build any lower than that, what it actually required, what it allows you to do when it comes to the amperage and stuff like that, just like any other mechanical style mod, you can run some risks and you can potentially have thermal runaway. It probably won't be as violent as, say, an 18650 21700, but with that being said, it still won't be something like a walk in the park. It will become something that you will have to lose something. And before you get to that level, please use all precautions that you can. As far as form factor, the feel, I mean, it's a very solid mod. Like I said in the top down, I did change out the magnets for a spring, mostly because I am a spring user. I don't like magnets. I find magnets to be very unreliable. I have broken magnets in a mod before and it started auto firing, and at that point I'm having to unscrew things and take it apart. And to me, that's just where I kind of fall within the idea of magnets. It's just not my thing. I don't trust them. I don't care to deal with them. My personal choice. If you like magnets, that's perfectly fine. As far like the throw on this isn't too shabby. I mean, see, check it out. Let's see. My fat finger's kind of in the way. Let me see. I'm gonna focus you guys here a little bit. There you go. Look at that. Even with the magnet, the throw isn't like that far off from that. And that always brings, it helps with the form factor. It helps with what you're trying to, trying to get a good vape out of it. The construction and everything's very simplistic, which I like. There's not a whole lot of parts and moving components and yada, yada, yada. So it's one of those things. And I mean, it's one of those things. If you're trying to like get into mouth to lung and you like mechs and you understand how to use mechs properly and how to respect the batteries that are being used, these are actually a very nice way to go. Personally, I'm liking it. You're trying to get into more mouth to lung stuff. It's just one of those weird things. Like, I really didn't think I'd enjoy it. I thought this was just gonna be something really hokey and cheesy, and personally I have been enjoying it. I wouldn't call it my go-to because mouth to lung's really still not my strong suit. But with that being said, it is one of those things that like I do keep at least one on my desk, and I do use it from time to time. It's one of those weird things. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting any points. We'll say as far as like safety, I wish this did have a little bit more to it, like a Delrin insert or something like that. But at least they added a little peak right there on the button construction, so you have at least somewhat of a safety measure going on. And it does have vent holes all across the top right there. So, it is one of those things. Again, it's a mech mod. There's not really much to it, so they tend to be very simple, very straightforward. And that's personally what I like about mechanical mods. All right, with all that being said, thank you for joining me. Go check out Vaping with the Ohmies on the Vaping with the Ohmies channel on Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then you can come back here on Wednesdays for Wolfbite Live with me, Frank, and Mr. Tuna. And then on Thursdays, I do have the vlog here live at 4 p.m. 7 Central Standard Time. And if you guys are interested in any like shirts and things like that, hit me up on the Teespring. There is the link down below. If you want coils or juice that I make, hit me up on either Instagram or clownvapes@gmail.com. All right. Then this mod, like I said, Chinese websites, you can look them up. They do have quite a bit of a selection on some of these Chinese sites. It's kind of cool that there's been a lot more 18350 mods that have been coming out, and more for mouth to lung and things like that. Alrighty, so yeah, that is it. Advocacy. Stay on top of it. Do your bit. You don't have to do everything, but you at least have to do something. And as always, vape on, mix on.